Hi, grade 12, 7.2 today. First thing I want you to do, and one of you may have to pause this recording, is I want you to make sure in your graphing calculator that you have a list, okay? So you guys would have entered lists to do questions yet last day, and even to do the example in the textbook. So under your stat menu, make sure you have a list of some sort, because there are a couple of things, a couple of measures of central tendency that we're going to use lists to do. So what I want you to do is I want somebody to press pause. I want you to make sure you have a list. Make sure you have at least about 20 elements or so. I think all the examples we did had at least that. Yeah. So press pause, stop listening to me, and make sure you have that. Okay. Now that everybody has that, we're going to do 7.2 measures of central tendency. Now this is something that you guys should all know. There should be a lot of review. But what's going to be new is using our graphing calculators to find them. So first of all, when I say the word mean, everyone should know this. The symbol for that is X bar, like that. And the mean is just the sum of all data items divided by the number of data items. Okay, so what we do is we add up everything, all of our data, divide by the number of data items. So the textbook writes it in this way, which we are familiar with. The sum of I equals 1 to n of xi divided by n. So what this part right here means is that when we take all n data items, so we add them all up and we divide by the number of data items. So just another way to write that. So mean is another word for mean is average, and I'm sure you guys have done that before. Okay. Next up, we have median. The other word for median is middle. So the very first thing we have to do whenever we do median is we must first arrange the data by size. So in ascending or descending order. We got to put them in order. Ascending. Okay. It's the middle number if there's odd number of data. So for instance, if I had 2, 3, 7, 9, 15, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of data, the median's right there. It's the mean of the middle numbers. The mean of the middle numbers if there is a number of data. So if I have 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 11, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have a even number of data, so I'm going to take the mean of 4 and 6. So I go 4 plus 6 divided by 2. I get 10 over 2, which is 5. So the median in this case is 5. Okay, I'm going to stop you there for a second. If we turn to page 289, example 1, it says use the calculator to find the mean of the 57 calculus 30 marks from section 7.1. So if that's the list you have in there, use that one. If you have another list, we're going to follow the same steps. It says first enter the data into the list, then press stat arrow 1. At this point, you must tell the calculator which list. If your data is an L6, press second 6 followed by enter. The results in the center and right screens below. The mean appears as the top entry. So do you see how there's an X bar equals 62.56? That is your mean. Okay? Similarly, if we keep looking on, turn the page to 290, it shows us how to do the median. It says proceed just as you've done before. Once the mean is displayed, press the down arrow several times until you see the following screen. The median is 64%. So there we have MED equals 64. So that tells us our median. Tells us our median value. Okay, so like I said before, median, mean, and mode. We haven't taught you mode just yet. All of these things are things you know. What's new is now we're going to get our calculator to do it, which is pretty sweet. Okay, so mean, median, mode is the other word for most common data entry. So data can often have more than one mode or no mode. So for instance, if I had data that was 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, it has a mode. Its mode is both 4 and 5. Okay, so, and again, your calculator goes through and it asks you how to do the mode. So if you look at the solution here, it says there's no function on the TI-8283 that gives the mode directly. And this might be something that Phil or the 84 might do. You guys have to find that out in your own manual. What we can do is sort the data in the list in ascending or increasing order. I'm on page 290 here if you guys aren't with me. And then use our arrow keys to scan the data and find the number that appears most often. To do that, press Stat 2, and if your marks are in L6, press second 6, enter. If you're in L3, you press second 3, enter. This results in the screen below left. To view your sorted list, press Stat 1. We note that the lowest mark was 7%. Use your down arrows and find repeated numbers. So in this case, when they go down, they see that there's 3 sets of 47s and 3 sets of 77s, and that tells us our modes. So it's really important to know how to sort. And you're going to have to look, of course, in your own to see if that, on your own calculator to see what they tell you. Okay, so section 7.2, you guys are doing numbers 5, 6, and 7. So what I want you, and question number 6 and 7 does use some knowledge that we used in the last chapter. So you're going to have to remember what we did before and do that. Okay, get at her.